On an autumn afternoon, October 13th, 19C. In the quiet countryside of Fatima, Portugal, an event unfolded that would etch itself into history as one of the most enigmatic occurrences of modern times, the miracle of the sun. This astonishing spectacle, observed by over 70,000 onlookers, defies conventional explanation and remains a source of fascination, debate, and inspiration even today. What exactly took place on that fateful day? And what deeper implications does it hold for humanity? The small village of Fatima was an unassuming place until 1917, when three shepherd children, Lucia dos Santos and her cousins, Francisco and Jacinta Marto, became the center of an unfolding mystery. Their accounts of supernatural visions would ignite a movement of faith and controversy alike. At the time, the world was gripped by the turmoil of World War I, and Portugal itself was undergoing immense political and social upheaval, with growing secularism challenging religious traditions. Against this backdrop, the children reported witnessing a radiant woman dressed in white, who introduced herself as the Virgin Mary. She urged them to pray for peace and the conversion of sinners. The apparitions began on May 13, 1919, and continued for months, with each visitation bearing urgent messages of both warning and hope. As word of their experiences spread, thousands made their way to Fatima, drawn by the children's claims that on October 13th, the Virgin Mary would provide undeniable proof of her presence through a miraculous event. The promise of a divine sign captivated the faithful, intrigued the curious, and invited skepticism from authorities and the secular press alike. Yet, anticipation only grew as the appointed day approached. When October 13th arrived, the fields of Cova da Iria were packed with a diverse crowd of believers, doubters, and journalists. The weather was harsh, with heavy rain turning the ground into a muddy expanse. Despite the miserable conditions, hope and expectation filled the air. At noon, Lucia called for silence and prayer. And then, something extraordinary happened. Suddenly, the rain ceased, and the thick storm clouds gave way. The sun, previously obscured, became visible, yet it was unlike anything seen before. Witnesses described it as a spinning disk of light, pulsating and radiating vibrant colors across the sky and earth. Some claimed it danced, others swore it zigzagged unpredictably, while many reported a terrifying moment when it seemed to plummet toward the earth, causing panic and desperate cries among the crowd. The reactions were overwhelming. Some collapsed in prayer, certain they were witnessing the end of the world. Others wept in awe, mesmerized by the surreal beauty of the celestial display. What made this event particularly astonishing was that it was not merely seen by the faithful, but was also documented by journalists and skeptics who had come to disprove any supernatural claims. Avelino de Almeida, a correspondent for the secular newspaper O Século, initially arrived with doubts, but later wrote that he had witnessed an inexplicable phenomenon. Another journalist, Joaquim Fernandes, noted, "The sun defied all natural laws as we understand them." Among the numerous testimonies, some stand out as particularly vivid. Maria Carrera, a devout attendee, recalled, "The sky was alive with color, and the sun seemed to move like a living being." Meanwhile, an unnamed professor present at the event admitted that despite his scientific background, he could not rationalize what he had seen. Even children who had no prior expectations described the event with the same striking details. In the aftermath of the miracle, efforts were made to explain what had happened. Some theorized that it was a mass optical illusion, a phenomenon known as pareidolia, where the brain interprets random patterns as familiar imagery. Others suggested atmospheric effects such as light refraction or ice crystals in the sky creating an illusion of movement. A few even proposed psychological theories, arguing that the power of expectation and religious fervor could have induced a form of collective hallucination. Yet, these explanations fall short in one crucial aspect: the sheer number and diversity of witnesses, many of whom had no predisposition toward belief. Scientists have struggled to account for how thousands, including skeptics and journalists, could have simultaneously perceived the same extraordinary event. The renowned psychologist Carl Jung once theorized that certain moments transcend ordinary perception, possibly hinting at deeper mysteries of the human experience. Over a century later, the miracle of the sun continues to be a subject of intrigue. Was it divine intervention, an unexplained natural phenomenon, or something beyond our current understanding? The event remains a beacon of faith for believers, a puzzle for skeptics, and an invitation for all to reflect on the limits of human knowledge. In a world where science and spirituality often seem at odds, Fatima stands as a testament to the unknown, challenging us to consider the possibility that some mysteries are meant to endure. Whatever the ultimate truth may be, the events of October 13th, 1917, remind us of the profound power of wonder, faith, and the eternal human desire to seek answers beyond the visible world. Thank you for watching.